In the previous video we covered the pre-processing settings within Scene. In this video we'll look at some of the registration features of the software. In the registration tab you'll first notice this general settings. You have two options, the inclinometer and the compass. We typically will always use the inclinometer as this is a way that the scanner increases the accuracy of the registration. The Faro scanners come equipped with the dual axis compensator, which will physically level out the scans as long as the scanner is set up within the tolerances of the equipment. The compass on the scanner, however, isn't quite as accurate, and we typically won't use this as it will force the scans to face in one direction and can complicate your registration. For automatic registration we have three basic ways to do this. The target-based registration is one that is based on spheres or targets, whichever physical references in the field you decide to use. A top view based registration is that of a plan view, meaning that it will look at the scans from the top and try and line them up based on walls or other architectural features that are easily identifiable. The cloud-to-cloud registration is more for fine-tuning, as it will compare the scans on a pixel-to-pixel level to try and align them. If you're using a target-based registration, we would always recommend using a target-based registration as your default choice, as this will be the quickest. If you're scanning purely on a cloud-to-cloud based registration, then I would suggest a top view and cloud-to-cloud, as the top view will do a rough alignment and cloud-to-cloud will fine-tune that registration. For this example dataset, we'll be working with the target-based registration. As far as this manual registration option, if we have issues within our scans where we need to bring two together manually, checking this on will then perform a subsequent cloud-to-cloud registration, which will tighten up our scans. This is a handy feature that we typically use. For the target-based settings, we will leave these unchecked, as they'll add a little bit of time to the registration. The only one that we check on at times is the force correspondence by target names. This is only done if the software doesn't automatically line up the scans properly to the targets you have. This is most commonly occurs when you have control points. If the software tries to align the scans to the wrong point, you can physically force it to go to the proper one by naming the control point the same name that you have in your survey control file. As far as these other options such as target distribution, subsampling, and reliability, they pertain to the specific accuracy that you need within the scans. By adjusting the sliders, you can control how accurate you want the registration to be. You can also adjust it for your setting. For example, if you're subsampling your scans in an outdoor environment, you'll want to drag it to the right, as it will use more and more of the data that you've captured to line up the scans. For close-in indoor scenarios, you want to limit how much area you're using to line up the scans, so you would adjust the slider accordingly. We will typically leave it on the default. As far as the target-based statistics, this is an optional feature that will give you a specific report of the accuracy of your scans. This will add some time, but also gives you handy information should you so choose. Cloud-to-cloud and target-based statistics are very similar. You have the ability to adjust it based on your environment. The registration report simply is the numerical values assigned to the color coding. You can adjust these however you'd like so that the reports are green based on your project tolerances or red if they're outside, but typically we will leave these on your default values as they're a pretty good indicator as far as the quality of the registration.